What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. This is day number 2 of week number 3 of the current cycle leading into my next competition, and we were stepping up the intensity a little bit and also the volume. So we originally worked with 2 sets of 6 with 236 kilos, then we're to bump up to a set of 4 with 252.5 and then a set of 4 with 261 kilograms. Now, again, 261 kilograms was only sitting at 83%, so it's still pretty sub-maximal and it's still pretty relatively light. But again, to be hitting kind of 261 in week number 3 for sets of 4 after all the prior volume is a really good feeling to know that I'm kind of that close to 600 pounds in week number 3 for reps. It's really good and kind of has me going into a really good mindset. However, going into today's workout, the preparation wasn't really ideal or what it usually is or the best. The day before it, unfortunately, I was actually in the hospital with my brother. Again, there's nothing wrong with both of us, we're both good. But yeah, I was in there from about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we got out about 10 o'clock. And in that time frame, I wasn't really able to eat anything. All I could really do was drink water. And before that, I hadn't actually really ate much food. So the day before, the preparation wasn't really that good. And going into the workout, that put me into a pretty negative mindset. I was pretty annoyed with myself that preparation wasn't really where I wanted to be. And I was in a pretty bad mood on the day of the deadlifts, and I let that kind of get in the way and get in my head. As you probably know, I am a very positive person. I try and always be extremely positive and always have a really good outlook in every single area of life, because at the end of the day, no matter how good or bad a situation is, you can always choose your outcome. Even in a really good situation, there's still bad things about that situation, and even in really bad situations, there are still good things in that situation. So you really choose the mindset you choose to adopt within every single situation. And I always try and have a really good positive attitude. So I was getting really annoyed with myself while training because I had this bad attitude going into it. However, just needed to knuckle down. You're not always going to be have the greatest preparation, have the greatest mindset and whatnot, so sometimes you've got to get through the lifting, and that is what I did. Overall, wasn't overly happy with how the reps felt. I felt they looked pretty good, but they didn't feel the way I wanted them to feel. They felt that, especially in the top set, I just was not getting my upper back the tightness I wanted to be at, and was kind of losing my positioning of my upper back throughout the movement. And again, I have no issue with myself pulling with a slightly rounded upper back or slight thoracic rounding, and I have no issue with all the athletes I work with pulling with a kind of thoracic rounding, or even just anyone. But what I do have an issue with is pulling yourself out of positioning and creating thoracic rounding. So if you start with a slightly rounded upper back, I don't want you to pull yourself out of position. If you start with that, as the rep goes on, I want you to be moving to a better position, not pulling yourself out of position. If you start with a neutral spine and then pull yourself out of that neutral spine, then that is what I have an issue with. And that is kind of what I felt I was doing slightly. Again, it was probably so minimal, you can't really see it. But yeah, the reason I'm kind of talking to this is because, again, not everything is going to go the way you want it to. You're not always going to have the perfect workouts. Again, we kind of tend to showcase on social media that only our good stuff. We only tend to kind of showcase what's going good in our life, and that can be quite a bad spiral for someone that maybe doesn't feel that great about themselves, because all they're seeing is how good everyone else's lives are. But you've got to realise is that on social media, how people portray their life isn't actually how their life are. They only choose to portray the good stuff and not the bad stuff. Again, that's the majority. The minority maybe don't do that. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of showcasing this footage. Again, it looks pretty, it doesn't look that bad, but it didn't feel good and it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. But remember that not every workout is going to be the way you want it to be. Sometimes you've got to knuckle down, get the head down, get through the workload, regroup, and then move on with your life, and realise that it's not that big a deal. Having one workout doesn't go the way you want it isn't that big a deal, and you're still getting all the benefits, you're still getting the workload in, you're still accumulating volume, still making progress, still working and stuff, and it's allow you to just kind of move on. So that's today's training talk, guys. It's probably going to be titled something like social media complex or something like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed kind of these training talk, guys. If you do enjoy them, I really enjoy doing them, and they're pretty cool to do, pretty easy to do. Like the video, let me know you enjoy them. Again, just kind of trying to bring every single week a little bit kind of more different footage. So I'm trying to do like maybe just one video that's just kind of training footage alone. Then I'm trying to do maybe one video where it's kind of maybe a little bit of vlog footage before or after, or maybe both with like kind of workout between. Then trying to do like a training talk video as well a week. Then also one Q&A a week. And then also probably an informative video a week. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll speak to all of you guys next time.